Now you lied to yourself on your New Year's resolution. Girl, it's damn near August and you still fat. What is you gonna do? You still fat and this tea is still for sale, girl. Click the link down in the description box below and purchase these fine products. Maybe you could be, smaller by Christmas. Bye. Nestle girl, let me tell you one thing. I will never advocate for the disillusion of a family, but in this instance, Contessa ass need to leave Scott, okay? Do y'all want to talk about it? Here it goes. Nessa girl, first and foremost, I was on time with the Married to Medicine review and the Real Housewives of Patanka. The memory card was broken. My computer wouldn't recognize it, so this is actually a re-record, and I'm hoping I can nail it the way I did the first one, because the first video was good, bitch. But let's talk about that damn Scott and Contessa before we even get down into this thing. Let me tell you, Scott got me so triggered and so goddamn mad after watching this damn reunion that I don't know what to do. Let me tell you something. My issue with Scott is that Scott thinks he is the smartest person in the room. Okay? Scott is really giving us those narcissistic, serial killer, sociopath, psychopath, whichever one of them paths, leading Contessa down the wrong path vibes, okay? I can't stand it. Scott sat his ass up there and said, "Hey Siri, call girlfriend." Calling Tessa. Scott, who the fuck you think you fooling? In 2021, how stupid do you think we are? This just looks so, hey, Sid, look y'all, I was just playing. I don't have a girlfriend. Hey Siri, call girlfriend. Then had the nerve after heavenly utter under her breath, he just put that in his phone. Then came behind it and said, I had to put that back in there. Like, that looked so fabricated. You would have been better off just not saying nothing. And the other thing too, Bravo Andy called bullshit on that whole, I was just saying I had a life coach. I really didn't have one. I was just saying it, because, and then Andy looked over at Curtis and them and said, and this was the explanation that convinced y'all. And Curtis sitting there looking lost, dazed, and confused. And Eugene, and I'm gonna tell you which husband really give it away. It's Anila husband, Karen. Karen was looking like this shit ain't making sense or whatever. And Scott does this thing when he spews his bullshit. He spits the line. Then he looks around with this blank stare to get a confirmation from everybody that they buying that bullshit. Listen, I'm the firm believer of people are not going to change overnight and people do the best they can. But when you tell somebody that they are doing something that is bothering you or hurting you, all you can hope is that they attempt to make an effort to change. Scott don't even look like he give a damn. And I was through with Scott when he said he was through with therapy. And I get it that doctors make the worst patients, right? But Contessa has let it be known that y'all have been having these issues for a very long time. Now, Scott and Contessa, y'all are doctors. I think it's fair to say y'all have above average intelligence. Y'all have above average reasoning skills. Y'all have above average deduction skills. Scott, whether you want to go to therapy or not, if you and Contessa have been having issues this long and they're not being resolved, that suggests that you guys do not possess the tools to fix the problem. Therefore, therapy must be necessary and needed. But you know why Scott don't want to go to therapy? Because he don't give a fuck. And I know Contessa was saying, why is all of this on me? Why is all of this on me? I'm going to tell you why all of this is on you. Because you've put up with it for this long. And here is what Scott is going through. And this is where that women are from men are from wherever the fuck they from, Venus and Mars. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Here is what Scott's going through in his mind as a man. In Scott's mind, he's saying, it ain't been broken all this long. Why you want to change the arrangement? I've been treating you like this all this time, and we made it to 16 years. So in his world, there is no problem. Therefore, there's nothing for him to fix. But here's why I say Contessa need to pack her shit and move. Contessa need to pack her shit and move on, because when you care about somebody, when you in love with somebody, when you all of that with somebody, it brings you joy and immense pleasure to make that person happy, right? All you can think about is pleasing your partner. And pleasing Contessa would be fixing some of these issues. And if Scott cared, fixing these issues would be at the forefront of his mind every day. He would be working towards it, and he seems to just not give a fuck. Now, here's another thing I'm going to point out, and I hope it's not true, and I don't believe it is. Scott and Contessa, they behave. Contessa shrinks as if Scott is beating the shit out of her, okay? And I don't know that to be true. I hope it ain't true, and I don't believe it. But Contessa acts like a battered damn woman. And maybe mentally she is battered. Contessa have everything to say. The moment she get in Scott's presence, she shrinks. She get marbles in her damn mouth. She can't speak for her damn self. Her girlfriends got to speak, and I'm just not understanding it. And I saw a meme one day, and Contessa proved this backstage. When Jackie was talking to Contessa, and Contessa lost it, and rightfully so, she had all that steam for her girlfriends, but couldn't keep that same damn energy for Scott. When they were at Jekyll Island, and Scott came out and said, no, we not doing this, get up, let's go. Contessa got up, she shut her damn mouth, and got on the back of that damn golf cart. Contessa was out there talking. Scott came out. All of a sudden, she shrank to a damn 8-year-old little girl and couldn't tell her damn up from down. Something ain't right about this. Scott got a mental hold on Contessa that she need to pray to God, Tinkerbell, the Cowardly Lion, the Tin Man, and Dorothy ass to get that up off of her and to rectify this damn situation. This shit is not healthy. Contessa, you a better woman than I ever be. And I'm going to tell y'all something. This right here is a prime example of what I always told y'all about me not working to stay with no bitch. I'm not working this hard to be in a relationship with nobody. I'm not. Now, granted, I will give y'all, I'm not married. I don't have children. So I don't know what those stakes feel like when you're talking about dissolving a family. And I get how children can cause people to pause when it comes to just pulling the plug on a relationship. But I know enough about me to know that I wouldn't sit in that goddamn situation that damn long. I wouldn't sit in it that long. I'm not working that hard to be with no bitch, okay? And oftentimes, y'all got to stop looking at that shit as a failed marriage, and we need to start normalizing knowing when to hold and knowing when to fold, okay? There is no honor in staying for the children in the house and the marriage looks like this. There's no honor in that. In all actuality, with you having daughters, you're actually teaching them to put up with any goddamn thing from a man for the sake of having one. And I know that's not the lesson that you want to teach. And I hate to be so hard because I have to see these damn people. These people are in my sphere of influence. But it is what it is. If your ass decide you don't want to speak to me no more, don't want to invite me to no events, then to hell with you. Don't be mad with me. Be mad with your damn man. He the damn reason I'm in this situation talking this shit that I'm talking. I don't like it. I don't like it for Contessa. You know, as much as I respect her and Scott, You need to listen to what the universe is trying to tell you. Sometimes everybody ain't your forever. Sometimes people are to get you to a certain place, and then it's time for they ass to get off at the next exit. All right? Stop swimming against the current. Swim with it. And, Contessa and a lot of people out there, Contessa, and I know I'm oversimplifying things, but all of her issues could be fixed with one move. Divorce. If Contessa got a divorce today or tomorrow, all her problems magically disappear. Ain't that something? They all magically disappear. Now let's get into this reunion in chronological order. Scott was about to leave. And in my opinion, Scott was about to leave because Scott has to be in control. Hence why he came out there on Contessa, controlling her. Came out at Jekyll Island, made her leave, controlling her. Scott was about to leave because he was not in control. And I love the fact that Curtis came along and talked him into staying and said, nah, man, you need to stay because this is your only opportunity to get your voice out to the world, or whatever the case may be. I talked on Scott and Contessa, so let's just move on. Jackie and Simone. When they played the package with Jackie and Simone looking back on their friendship and Jackie was crying, like really crying, that was hard to watch for me. It was hard to watch because Jackie and Simone really did have a very, very, deep friendship. Now things got odd and I was looking sideways when they started communicating and Heavenly jumped in and said, this is some bullshit. And then Quad jumped in and said, this is some bullshit too. And I'm like, whoa, what's going on here? Why are they messing up their moment? And Heavenly and Quad both revealed that we hang out and talk to Jackie, and we know that Jackie and Simone have not been talking. They have not been hanging. They have not been studying. They're saying this shit for TV. Which is what Toya said at the beginning of the season, that the whole makeup that they did previously in New York was all fake and some bullshit. But y'all know how Jackie is. Jackie like to keep it cute. She like to keep it ladylike. She don't like to rock the boat. And Jackie and Simone did get an opportunity to dig at the root of what some of this discomfort is. But I'm here to break it down for you. What it is. Okay? This is just straight no chaser. Simone and Jackie's problem. If you had to wrap this thing up in a bow and oversimplify the whole thing, but throw it all in one bucket, that bucket would be called Heavenly. Okay? That bucket would be called Heavenly. Simone was not interested in a three-way love affair. Simone wants her friend. She's possessive over Jackie. Simone got to feeling some type of way when Jackie and Heavenly began getting closer. Okay? That's just what it is. Now bring Buffy into the equation. You got Simone now feeling slighted because Jackie is hanging out with Heavenly. Okay? You got Simone and Heavenly having their little beef. So now Simone got ill feelings for that bitch Heavenly. And then Jackie got the nerve to be getting close to that bitch Heavenly. Okay? Follow me here. So then now Buffy's in the equation. Buffy and Jackie have their little tiss or whatever. Simone, instead of getting involved or checking it, because she's already feeling sour towards Jackie, she actually feels vindicated. Good. Get her. That's right. That's right. Because Simone was already feeling sour. So instead of sticking up for Jackie, she let Jackie fry in the frying pan, a frying pan called Buffy. That made Jackie feel a way because she was like, Simone, you know my character and you should have stood up for me. Now, perhaps Simone could argue, well, Jackie, you should have known that I was feeling a little more uncomfortable with this you and Heavenly relationship. And maybe Jackie could have done more to make Simone... Oh, I threw up in my mouth a little bit. I just ate spaghetti. I'm getting old. Is that acid reflux? Perhaps Jackie could have did more to make Simone feel a bit more comfortable in the relationship and to make her feel like her place was not being taken or her friendship being rivaled with Simone. You know, Simone said she did take issue with the fact that Jackie said Heavenly's relationship was equally as important to her as hers. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. I think that's a little childish on Simone's behalf, because you're now wanting somebody to create a hierarchy of friends. And listen, emotions and feelings don't work that way. You can have people come into your life that they become your second BFF. And it doesn't negate who you are in your role. It just means that I love this girl the same way I love you, despite the fact that I've known you longer. Length of time has nothing to do with intensity of emotion. Okay. Now, is there a future for Jackie and Simone? I honestly think if Heavenly died today or tomorrow, that their relationship it would go back to what it was, and it would be perfect. I think that Jackie is open to the three-way love affair, but it's Simone that has the slight issue. Now, will Jackie and Simone get back to where they were? Absolutely not. Just as long as Heavenly has breath in her body and she and Dr. Jackie are still friends, Jackie and Simone will never get back to where they were. But they can achieve and obtain a new normal. And the new normal is called Jackie, Simone, and Heavenly. That is just the new normal, and Simone is going to have to come to grips with it or not, because it looks as if Jackie and Heavenly have truly forged a relationship, and Simone and Heavenly is not going anywhere. Now, here's the other thing, right? Heavenly at times can have a very predatory energy. Heavenly does a very good job of picking up on what bothers a person, and she knows how to subtly dig at that nerve, okay? Heavenly is fully aware of saying things like, me and Jackie are close, me and Jackie go to church, Heavenly is fully aware that gets under Simone's skin, because it does. Okay, because it does. And here's the thing. Simone raised a very valid point that I'm going to speak on as it relates to Heavenly. Andy brought out that Heavenly was there for Simone when she was going through her pseudo divorce with Cecil. And she asked, could Simone and Heavenly ever get back to that place? And Simone said, she doesn't know, because every time she turns around, she's either reading or hearing something that Heavenly is saying about her. And I 100% agree. In order for Heavenly to have healthy relationships with Toya and Simone and whomever else on this show moving forward, she's going to have to discontinue talking about them on her YouTube vlog. Because there's just no way you can build we all have private thoughts. We all have things that we think about our friends and our family that we share with our significant other, or we share with somebody that doesn't know them, right? But Heavenly is displaying her private thoughts about her friends on YouTube for the world to see. Nobody will ever feel comfortable about their relationship, their finances, how they're raising their children, how they're spending their money, being scrutinized publicly and discussed publicly by a friend on YouTube for the world to see. And Heavenly has to know that. So, does Heavenly need to stop? It depends on if Heavenly wants the relationship. Now, if Heavenly don't give a fuck about the relationship with Toya and Simone, then keep at it. But if she genuinely wants to have a relationship with with any of them, she can't talk about these people after the show on her blog. I mean, she can talk about the show and what was shown, but going into details about, Toya's house and how it don't make sense to lose the house, and Simone need to control Cecil and all, and you can't do that. Like it's gonna forever keep those wounds fresh. But again, that's a decision that Heavenly is going to have to make. The guys come out, and then, they start talking about husband code 101. And here goes Scott once again trying to play a game of semantics when they talked about, pictures on the phone. Well, I don't have nobody's pictures in my phone. Oh, well, that's in the DM. That don't count in the phone. But let me back you up here, Scott. Now, We could argue that it was in the DMs if you were not aware that it was present, right? You saw the picture once, you got around the guys, and the picture was still there because you were able to go back to it. At that point, when it's archived in your phone and you know how to retrieve it, whether it's in the DM or the camera roll, nigga, that's in your phone. All right? And Eugene was like, I mean, it was on your phone. Yeah, like, Scott, stop playing with us. Like, Scott, you really think you smart, don't you? You really think you smart and everybody else around you is stupid and they're just supposed to blindly go with whatever the hell is coming out your mouth. Brother, I am here to tell you, we see you. We got your number, huzzy. We, like Dionne Warwick told Brandy Glanville, I got your number, huzzy. Scott, we see you. You're not that smart. You know what, in all actuality, you kind of dumb. You kind of dumb if you think anybody is falling for that shit that is coming out your mouth. And I'm here to tell you, Contessa don't fall for it either. She's just too damn docile to do any damn thing about it. So she lay there and roll over. Scott, nobody is believing you. And we all see through this bullshit. Like, at least respect our intellect enough to come up with something a bit more, what's the word I'm looking for? Something more substantive. You know what I'm saying? Something not so rudimentary. Like, you just come up with the most basic of explanations and then expect us to just go with it. Whatever the hell you selling, we're not buying. And if it is the truth, then bitch, lie to us. Okay? Because that truth feel like a lie. You got a serious PR problem, brother. And don't keep this woman in this. Like Fantasia said, if you don't want me, then don't talk to me. Go ahead and free yourself. Free that lady. And pay her. Pay her for her pain. Contessa, you a damn fool if you withdraw them papers. Nessa girl, that's all I got. Ain't got no more. Y'all hoes be sure to like and subscribe. I'm finna upload this and I'm gonna call y'all back about Patanka. Bye.